was asked one time, if you wanted something for the world, what would you give them? Everybody in the room said peace, and I said hope, because I believe peace is something that you're gonna have within yourself, but hope is what you can give to somebody else. Okay, so I went to detox at Ballpay Hospital, another great facility that I really revere. That was the very first place that I had went to years ago, and I ended up going there this past time for treatment. And I was given two options, to go to a place called Women's View in Lawrence or come here. Great thing about the Glenna Sheehan House is they're not forcing you to do anything. You are fully going to make everything what you want it to be in this program. They're not going to tolerate certain things, which is wonderful, because it gives you that sense of safety. You know, one thing that stood out to me was there is a 1 month orientation period. Like I said, I've been to other programs before and never saw that. It was always 2 weeks. But being able to adapt to your surroundings, get your head clear, figure out the program, and then what you're going to do while you're here, because this is a house that you can work. You know, that was what I focused on. Even though I could not leave the property except for appointments or, you know, things like that, I took advantage of, well, I have technology here. I can have my laptop here on my phone. And so when I had downtime, I was constantly getting on my laptop in a Zoom meeting and kept that momentum, because that was what I was doing at home. And, you know, just along the way was picking up the tools, attending the groups. Very quickly, I was merited with certain things that you move up and that are requirements to graduate from this program. And I'm very, very blessed to have said that I was able to come here. What I have found in this program were the tools that I needed to use in, you know, in society and integrating back into society. I had known about these coping skills, I had known about DBT skills. I didn't know how to use them though, effectively. And that's what the Glenna Sheehan program has taught me through Riverbend. And this program has also given me the ability to use all of the tools and guidance that is here to the fullest advantage. And I've done that. It hasn't been easy, and I know this life is not easy. Life is not about ease and comfort. It is about getting through the pain and getting over the hurdles and then bearing the crosses that we have, and how that can affect our life and have an effect on the people that we come in contact with. You know, this program's helped me become a better woman, a better mother, and it really was not until this time around. This is the 6th and last program for me. I'm actually proud of myself. I found a voice here, I let go of anger here, and truly am on a path of recovery. For me, it was the goal of sustaining and maintaining long-term recovery, because I couldn't do that. And at certain points, I was unwilling to do that. So it wasn't until I could fully surrender, use outside interventions like psychiatry, therapy, AA, NA, and in sponsorship, and integrate that into my life. I am not religious, but I do call my higher power God. And I believe when I'm able to sit with self, and for me that doesn't mean just going in the room here and laying down and sleeping or, you know, coloring. It is a constant review. Reviewing of past, healing the past, grieving the past, and then nurturing that young child, that little girl, and coming in to myself, into a woman, into a mother, you know, into a wife, into a daughter and a sister, and an employee. And how do I step out of these doors and go home to my children and husband? How do I go home and work and balance life in my recovery, you know? So it was about prioritizing for me. It was about surrendering for me and learning, remaining teachable, remaining remain willing to do the work. And that is what I believe. Life is constant work, and you never stop learning, and you can never stop growing. But the want and the desire has to be there. That is the hard part when you come into any residential program, and you have to have the willingness, the focus, the determination, and I have always had that resilience in me, but this time around it was about buckling down, not doing what everybody else was doing, and using the resources. Instead of talking to the clients about my problems, there are professionals here that I need to speak with and address my issues. And that is how I've been able to do this. And I'm coming up next week on the 24th, 11 months sober, and I never thought I could have that. I never believed in myself. I had never had that hope. You don't have to stay like this forever. It's hard. It's hard what we do to ourselves, our bodies, our mind, our spirit. But you have to know that there is a place. And when you and only you can decide when enough is enough, And like I said earlier, it's work. But you're worth it. You're not here alive going through any of this for no reason. If you are out there and you have the desire and in the back of your head, yeah, it's going to be a struggle in the beginning to get clean and sober, but the resources are here. The people are here to help you, and they listen and they care. They are genuine, and I can say from experience, yeah, I've experienced good things at certain places, but this is one place, Riverbend Glenesha program, especially for the women, that if you are ready to be honest, if you are ready to, do the work, it is here and it's available. It's available, it's at your fingertips, Leaving that life behind is the best thing you're ever gonna do. Not just for yourself, but for your family and your loved ones.